Smith. We get started by talking about high school sports and, of course, the preparation for the upcoming high school football season, which we all hope and pray will go off as scheduled. You cannot replace being prepared, so right now everybody's out there doing their darndest to get their teams ready, and that is true of the gentleman who joins us now as well, as he took over as the head coach of the Lusher Lions in 2018, so he'll be entering his third season on the job. It's great to have J.J. Smith joining us on the show. J.J., listen, I hope you're well in these unusual times. Glad to have you with us.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure, and I guess I'll start there with how strange has it been? How difficult has it been? For a while, you couldn't bring any kids onto campus other than 3 or 4, and now you can get them on campus in pods, as many as 25 at a time. How difficult has it been? How tough of an adjustment has it been to run a program in that fashion?
Well, just like the game, you gotta know how to adjust. You got the best people that adjust are the ones that are successful. So, just being creative, and in some ways, I think it's kind of helped us out a little bit.
How would that be, Coach? What would be the advantage to it?
Well, I mean, we're focusing on other things. We have a time frame that we have to do everything in. So now we kind of just cut right through it, and it's pretty much 90 minutes of straight action. So we stay outside, so having to be out there is another adjustment to that weather, and it's a grind, and they appreciate it. We kind of focus on other types of training, and it's been working. Those guys have been working hard the first 4 weeks, and we just took our halfway point break, and the guys are good. They're getting better. Some kids are changing who they are as athletes, and it's just good to see.
Visiting with J.J. Smith of Lusher Charter, and of course you were serving as assistant head coach and offensive coordinator to Louis Landrum, and then when Coach Landrum stepped down and concentrated on athletic director, you took over. Just talk about your time at Lusher to this point and working with Coach Landrum previously, and how well it prepared you for taking over the job a couple of years ago.
Well, it's a good situation. Lusher is an awesome community. It's not very old, so as far as high school is concerned. So, a lot of things are new, and Coach Landrum had started the program from nothing, built it up, and then year after year we're producing, good kids that are able to go out and be successful at college and on the next level, wherever it may be. It's good learning. When I took over, we were in good shape. We had our own field. We had a lot of positives. And the kids that we have, a lot of them have been there since kindergarten. So, you get to know those kids, and now I've been there so long, and I've seen kids that used to be playing Foursquare at Little Lusher in the mornings, now seeing them, getting ready to graduate. So it's pretty special.
When you talk about your background, it's pretty interesting. I know you did a lot of work with regard to broadcasting previously before you got here. Talk a little bit about that and how well that served you, being able to observe from that perspective.
Man, next to coach, you know what I mean?
Yep,
just
sure.
Be able to talk about the game. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, so growing up playing high school ball there, and knowing a lot of coaches and a lot of people around the community, and then getting a chance to go back out and watch high school football, and getting out there interviewing coaches and seeing kids, seeing kids that you look at and like, man, that kid has a chance, and next thing you know, he's first pick in the draft, just seeing these kids and being a part of that, it was awesome, But I got that bug. I got that bug. All the games and the pre-games and the interviews and just going out there on game nights, Friday nights, seeing the other side of it that I never saw before as a high school player, but to go out there and see it, as a fan or as a parent would experience it, the kids gearing up for their senior year, just the excitement, man, it just brought something else out of me, and I kind of got that bug to get back out there and coach, so I came back.
Kansas City, Missouri. I've been there a lot, okay? Done a lot of broadcasts there, and I've been there for various reasons as well, but I like Kansas City. I've always enjoyed it, the Power and Light District, the World War I Museum, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, been to all of those places. Sprint Center, did a couple of arena football games there when they had a team there for 1 year. Of course, Arrowhead and Kaufman. But
Okay, man.
Saints game,
Okay,
a Saints game at Arrowhead, and of course, been to Kaufman to see baseball. So, all over that place. I like Kansas City, man.
Now, you didn't mention one thing. You didn't mention barbecue, so I don't know. If you.
Oh, no, you just nailed it. So the last time I was there was it 2 years ago, and we hit a barbecue place right. The little river they have, downtown there. Right?
Yes.
We hit. I'm trying
Missouri
to think
River.
of the name of the. Yeah, so the little shopping district there, the walking district. There's a barbecue place. It's on one of the corners, and it was really good, okay? Outstanding, and I cannot think of the name of it, and it's driving me crazy because I'm pretty good at that stuff. But, no, listen, when in Rome, I'm not dumb. I go to Kansas City, I get barbecue, okay? That's a done deal. The barbecue in Kansas City, for sure, is a done deal. Visiting with J.J. Smith of Lusher Charter. If you'd like to join us, you can do so. It's 504-260-1061. That's 260-1061. Lusher Trotter, for those that aren't familiar with the school, located uptown, and for those that have a rich history of New Orleans, they would understand where Lusher Trotter is located. Lusher Trotter took over the building that was formerly occupied by Fort J High School. So that gives you some perspective if you're not familiar with where it is and what it's all about. That's the whole ticket with regard to Lusher Charter. So Lusher, located uptown, and it's a very good academic institution as well. J.J. Smith back with us. And so, J.J., needless to say, I hit the barbecue, okay? I got it down. I know the area very well. You're not getting one over on me. I'm not dumb. I know what to do when I go to KC, okay?
You started talking about it. I got excited to hit my button, and the phone cut off. So I had to. I love it. No place like home. But I do. Love New Orleans. I've been here now for 11 years, so it's pretty. I came home again.
Visiting with J.J. Smith of Lusher Trotter, and of course, I'm telling people where Lusher is located for those that aren't familiar, and now they understand. And also, it was nice a few years back when Drew Brees got involved and helped finance putting a football field there, which is a little bit of a stadium where you play, and nice to have that kind of support, and it's nice to have an on-campus facility, right?
Most definitely. To be able to walk out there and practice every evening. It's I got there. I mean, it's an excellent field, the good grass, and they put the good draining system in there, and it's a good atmosphere. When it's packed and everybody's in there, and especially when guys come back, old players and stuff on homecoming time. It gets pretty exciting around there.
Now, last year, I want to talk to whoever makes your schedule. Okay. So I think that person ought to be fired. That's what I think. So, when I looked at last year, you had a competitive team, and the record doesn't reflect it, largely because of the schedule that you play. You go 3-7 in the regular season, but the teams that you played, you're losing to teams like Newman, you're losing to West St. John. These are powers on their level. Capital, who has good athletes, of course. JFK, who's going to be good this year. Bell Chase, who's always good and a tough offense to play against. Warren Easton, who's lights out, and Carver, who's lights out talent-wise. And then you had the great pleasure of having a chance to play University Lab in the playoffs. All they've done is win a couple of state championships in recent years. So I got to talk to that schedule maker of yours, man.
Well, actually, before that, our district was, St. James, De La Salle, and then we were in there with Lusher in the district with those guys. And then, when I first got there, we were playing John Curtis. And so, when we talk to the guys, though, having a chance to play some of the better teams, you can say, hey, I play these guys and we challenge them, or these guys are trying to win. They step out there every Friday night and try to win and try to claim a victory and make a legacy and change the program around to be one of those powerhouses. So, hey, it's fun to play them, but we're going out there trying to be at our best, and maybe they might have 20 or 30 more people, but we're fighting to the end and giving our best. And hey, we've built some great kids that came out of Lusher, and when they go to the next level, they don't just go; they go out there and play and excel. You got Keon Williams, who ended up at Nebraska, and now he's back as wide receiver coach at Tulane. And we two of our corners were starting at Jackson State for 3 years. We had right from Lusher. One of our safeties a few years ago, he just graduated from my tech, but he went on as a walk-on, coming out as a defensive captain and a leader for that team, and now looking at chances to make it to the league. So, even though we step out there on that field with those guys, we don't think that we're any less or, we can't be successful. So, and then recently, our running back last year, Miles Stewart, is going to West Point and just had some phenomenal numbers there at Lusher, no matter who he played. Before that, Ari Broussard, who's going to be pushing for a starting job at Rice as a sophomore up there, running back. So, these guys are respected around the city and around the state.
Talk about your perspectives for this season, what kind of numbers you expect, and what kind of experience you have coming back, JJ. This thing we're going through is, it's a change, but God's just focused on getting better every day. We know September 1, first week, we're going to go out and play Newman. And, last year was a great game. I mean, they're well coached. Coach Stewart is a phenomenal coach, and he has a good staff, and they do things right over there. So it's always a great challenge to step on the field with them, and it'll be a lot of fun. These guys, we're a few blocks away from each other, so a lot of our players know a lot of their players. And they grow up playing with each other at Carrollton and other places, and so it's bigger than just a game. It's a lot of people playing for bragging rights on the block over there. So, but it's always a game. We always got to play hard, and we're looking for some success this year. The first 4 games, we have opportunities to win all those games, and get into our district. And just be ready. Be ready. We know what we have to do. Guys, we have film on them now. We've been watching them. We've been studying them. We're doing everything we need to do. We're preparing our bodies. We're getting our mind right. So when that time comes, we can be the best we can be. We have all of our defense is just about coming back. We lost a safety, but we have 3 starters coming back in our secondary. Jared Albert is a 6'2" corner over there. He's getting faster and faster. He's already been committed. He didn't commit, but Cornell offered him. His brother just graduated from Harvard this year. Comes from a great family. We have Jonathan Gilliard, our safety, who was voted all district in this district we're in. It's pretty awesome. But he's coming back. He's a I think ranked amateur boxer. He's got a right hook that'll take a lot of people out. So this kid is just trains and just perfect student, perfect athlete. And then our other corner, he's a 6'2", 6'3" kid, going to be a junior, very athletic. Those guys have a lot of experience. A lot of them been playing since freshmen, so I'm looking forward to it. Our whole defensive line is coming back. We got some size over there this year. We were riddled with injuries the last 2 years. We started with 3 guys, and 3 of the same guys on offense. Everybody else was rotating weekly. Our last game against U-High, we started 3 freshmen on the O-line. So, the bad thing is they had to play, but the good thing they got some experience. So, and we have, a lot of guys last year, they had to go both ways. And this year it looks like we might not have to do that. So that will even the playing field a little bit. We still have some disadvantages on size on some of our guys, but athletically, we're fast and we're long and they're aggressive, and these guys want it. They season or not, they're getting ready right now like it's like everything's, dependent on. And, these guys have dreams of being great, and they're putting the work in to make it happen. So I'm excited about the schedule, the second year in this district, and, look forward to our chances when we step on that field in the fall. Being from the Midwest in Kansas City, it's different than the South. Here, in these times of social change, how different was it in the Midwest with regard to race relations, discrimination of any sort, as it might be here, or is there any difference whatsoever?
It's a problem everywhere. History in Missouri is that's the line that kicked off the Civil War. Missouri and Kansas. Kansas was free. Missouri was the slave state. So that river you were talking about is the border right there. So, that's how they get the Jayhawkers. Those are John Brown's crew that was fighting for free, fighting to free the slaves. And so, yeah, it's prevalent. It's there, like in every city probably across America, from the Missouri down to the South. You go through all kind of challenges. I told some of the guys I could have been George Floyd. Unfortunately, I've been in situations where my face was down on the concrete and I had handcuffs on, and it's. We got to stay prayed up out here and do it the best we can to teach our young people, the right ways and trying to, give them a little bit of the past so they can, know where they're going. But it's good to have good people around you, like I did coming up.
How humiliating was an experience like that, and how depressing is it? Because it's hard for people like myself that have not experienced anything like that to possibly relate.
I mean, it's what my mom used to tell me: be careful out there. She meant it, not just to be careful, don't get hurt, but come home. At the time I think I was 23 years old. Second year with the Chiefs. I had a lot of money in my pocket. I had a nice car. I'm young, and so I had my had rims on my car, and I don't know why my music was so loud, but I didn't have, I had no, I had the loud, I had loud music, but I happened to be playing it loud at the time. I was driving, and the police saw me driving, and they hit a U-turn because I believe because I had a nice car, and, I was black. And next thing you know, I didn't tell them I was with the Chiefs. They just didn't recognize me, and they were really harassing me, treating me bad, and next thing, I'm face down with cuffs on. I remember I had an all-white sweatsuit on and brand new shoes, and they were just like I was all in the ground. And I never told them I was playing for the Chiefs. I was just like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you going through my car? I told you I didn't have any guns or any drugs. Why are you harassing me and just talking bad? And so what happened was people started pulling over because they saw something wasn't looking right, and some people knew me, and they was like, you guys, that's JJ Smith, he plays for the Chiefs, and then all of a sudden, everything changes, but it's frustrating, it's frustrating, and you understand that because people are across this, not just down south, but across the country, that is easily just they don't know or they don't understand or it's just profile someone that think that. This guy's doing something wrong, instead of looking at someone, giving them the benefit of the doubt.
What do you try to teach the young men, and you have a diverse group of young men in Lusher, what do you try to teach them with regard to dealing with people, and how do you deal with these issues that some of them are sure to encounter?
Well, we talk about a lot, first off, this game and the sport teaches life lessons, and a lot of things come up through what we do in the game or in practice or training that are just, perfect examples. It takes a village. The African proverb, it takes a village. It takes good parents, that support these kids every day and keeping them active and keeping them, doing something that they love to do and enhancing the kids' passions. It takes like our support system at school, that the people that are around them every day to give support to them, guide them in the right direction. Our teachers, everyone that's interacting with our youth. It takes our administration to have put people around them that are the right people. That have the right heart, that know how to treat just people like they're people. And then I think for us, a lot of times it's the people that came before them. Some of our alumni, every year, this was a bit bad year because we couldn't have our alumni come back, but every year a lot of our alumni come back and around them when we're training, or former players that come back and work out with them sometimes and just impart wisdom on them, giving them ways to be and what to do, what to look out for, and again giving just living examples on how to be kind and how to be a good person, how to develop a good spirit. So I say it's a lot of folks that come together to make these kids see their light and see how to be and what to be.
Well, continue to be a light and shine that light and be a godly man who shows these young people how to conduct themselves properly, how to turn the other cheek, how to try to be patient and try to be slow to anger. It's easy to say, it's hard to do. I couldn't possibly fathom experiencing what you've spoken of, but I think it's important, and I've been striving to make people try to understand by educating them as to what people have gone through, and maybe they get a better understanding as to why they feel the way they feel. And if you get to a point where there is understanding and education, then I think we get to a point where people can get along without any issues, regardless of where you come from or what you look like. It seems like a pretty simple premise. It certainly is for me. I'm sure it is for you, and that's where we need to get as a whole. I'm quite sure you feel the same way.
Well, most definitely. You have people that are that grow up in a certain way, and maybe the parents have certain beliefs, or the people that are in their life have certain beliefs, and they take on those same beliefs. So it's important for people to be mindful and to understand and just be treat people with respect, treat all people kind. Be responsible for teaching yours and building them up and with a good spirit and a good heart. And I think everything else will fall into place when they get out there on their own. They see people for people. And not what they look like, but what's in their heart, what's in their spirit.
Coach J.J. Smith, Lusher Lions, deeply appreciate you joining us tonight. Appreciate what you do. You serve a great purpose. Continue to be a great mentor to these young people, and enjoy the Independence Day weekend. God bless you and your family, and let's hope we're talking about football here in about a month or so. Okay?
Yes, sir. And thank you for what you guys do for high school sports and coaches and players and families, man, and keep up the good work, and we appreciate you.
It's our pleasure, JJ. God bless you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. You bet.